Welcome back to Benjamins Tutoring, and today we're going to be going over implicit differentiation. So the way implicit differentiation works is we're going to be working in terms of two variables while only wanting the derivative in respect to one. So for example, we have our question here, which has both x and y, but we only want the differentiation with respect to x. So when we do our differentiation, we'll do it just like normal. So our x squared will become 2x, but this time we'll multiply it by whatever variable we did the derivative of divided by what we did it with respect to, which we did it with respect to x. So it's whatever variable we used divided by what we want with respect to. So now this is going to be minus, and then now this will be 4. And when we do our derivative of x, we're going to treat y as a constant. So I'll write y on the side. And now we're just doing the derivative of x, which will become 1 and multiplied by, and is with respect to x, which is dx. And now, this was only the derivative of the x. We still have to do it with respect to y. So now this will become 4. We'll treat x as the constant, so it'll be x, the derivative of the y. And now this is where we're going to get our dy over dx from, because we did the derivative of the term y with respect to x, and now we're going to add, and now this will become 2y multiplied by, again, since we did the derivative of y, it'll be dy over dx. And then this will be equal to 0, because the derivative of any constant is equal to 0. So now, in order to solve for dy over dx, what we need to do is we need to get all the terms of dy and dx on one side and everything else on the other. So this will become 2x multiplied by dx over dx minus 4y multiplied by dx over dx is equal to 4x multiplied by dy over dx minus 2y times dy over dx. So now what happens is our dy over dx we can treat as any normal fraction. So any term divided by the same term is equal to 1. So we can just treat these as 1, which just makes them not really useful. So this will just become 2x minus 4y is equal to, and now this is our big step to solve for our dy over dx. We're going to factor out the dy over dx, and this will be 4x minus 2y. So now we just have to do our regular solving for dy over dx like how we would solve for a variable. We're just going to bring all the other terms to the one side. So this will be 2x minus 4y divided by 4x minus 2y is equal to dy over dx. And now to simplify it, it just becomes x minus 2y divided by 2x minus y is equal to the dy over dx. So now we have question 6, which is 2x squared plus xy minus y squared is equal to 2. So when we're doing our derivative, we're still looking for our dy over dx. So I'll write that down. Looking for dy over dx. So when we're doing the derivative again, we'll do the same steps. So this will just be 4x, and then our 2 will become a 1, and we're going to multiply it by our dx over dx, because this is again the variable that we're doing the derivative of with respect to x. And now we add, and the first one we're going to do is the derivative of the x. So this will become 1, and because we're doing the derivative of just the x, our y is going to be treated as a constant. So that's why we're doing multiplied by dx over dx. And now we add, this time we're going to treat x as the constant. So this will be x, and the derivative of y will be 1, but we're going to multiply it by dy with respect to x. And now finally we'll subtract 2y multiplied by dy over dx. And then again, the derivative of a constant just becomes 0. So now from here on, what we need to do is, when we have our dx over dx, we can ignore it since it'll just be equal to 1. And we're going to put all the other terms on the right side. So this will give us our 4x plus y is equal to 2y multiplied by dy over dx minus x times dy over dx. So this will just simplify to 4x plus y is equal to 2y minus x multiplied by dy over dx. And now our final step to simplify it is by dividing both sides by 2y minus x, so that we get dy over dx by itself. So this will become 4x plus y divided by 2y minus x is equal to dy over dx. Now with question 8, we have x cubed minus xy squared plus y cubed is equal to 1. And now when we're looking for our dy over dx, what we do is our same steps that we did before. So this will be 3x squared multiplied by dx over dx minus, and now we'll do with respect to x first, so this will be 1 y squared, but it'll be multiplied by dx over dx since we did the derivative of x. And now this will be minus x, and this will become 2y multiplied by dy over dx. And this will be plus 3y squared multiplied by dy over dx equal to 0. So now when we cancel out our dx over dx, this will just become 3x squared minus y squared is equal to 2y multiplied by dy over dx minus 3y squared multiplied by dy over dx. So now when we factor out our dy over dx, this will become 3x squared minus y squared is equal to 2xy minus 3y squared, all multiplied by dy over dx. So now to simplify for our dy over dx, we divide both sides by 2xy minus 3y squared to give us 3x squared minus y squared divided by 2xy minus 3y squared, which is going to be equal to dy over dx. So now we have a little bit harder of a question. We have question 10, which is x multiplied by e to the y is equal to x minus y. So we're going to treat this just like our last questions, except we already have variables on both sides, but it doesn't really change our steps. So again, we're going to do the derivative of the x first, and we'll treat e to the y as a constant. So this will be dx over dx, and this is going to be plus e to the y is the same. When you take the derivative, it still stays e to the y, and this is going to be multiplied by x because we're treating x as the constant, and now this will be dy over dx. And now this is going to be equal to, now we just have to change this to 1 multiplied by dx over dx minus, and this will, again will just be 1, but instead this will be multiplied by dy over dx. So now, again, we just cancel our dx over dx and bring everything to one side. So to keep this easy, we're going to bring our dy over dx to the left side this time. So this will then become ex e to the y plus 1, all multiplied by dy over dx is equal to 1 minus e to the y. So now we just have to divide both sides by x e to the y plus 1, so that we can find dy over dx is equal to 1 minus e to the y divided by x e to the y plus 1.